match. Where do you go in this ban protect?
I feel like both teams have the same game plan going to this one. They want to make this really as bare bones as possible. They want to get the tacticals out of the way. They want to get the attachments, overclock. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like a heat wave or a kinetic armor ban as well.
It's definitely possible. Right now, though, both players taking more than their fair share of time on this one. It's going to be an overclock ban again from OpTic Gaming. They continue to do this. If it's Afterburner that's targeted, if it winds up staying in right away, overclock off the table, rapid fire to follow up as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if both these teams, split the attachments, split the tacticals as well, because these are, things that both of them want out of the game. They don't want to be getting stunned up. They don't want to be getting hit with like HC cards. They don't want to have to worry about that stuff. It's all going to be about gun-on-gun engagements between these guys.
At this point in the game, it's no secrets for how these teams like to play. EnVy are going into this saying, okay, we know what they like, we know what they don't like. Right now, looks pretty standard. Man of War now banned out. Very popular gun to get rid of as of late in the Call of Duty World League. And it's up to Crim6 and Apathy to now make their decisions for their respective squads.
Okay, so Concussion's still in play along with High Caliber. HCXD still in. I wonder if EnVyUs are actually going to target something like Danger Close. It's something that Karma has brought out before, especially on this map. You're talking about winning the break here on Breach Hardpoint, just tossing grenades over that middle hut. Tossing two Semtexes over can really zone out your opponents, or at least tag them up enough so that, if they're going to push forward, the guy inside the hardpoint has an easier time winning that fight.
Trophies can be very important as well. I'm also looking to see, does EnVy ban out something like Kinetic Armor? Try to target Scump, force him to not have that specialist ability that we all know he loves to use to his advantage. Frag grenades now banned out, so concussions are still in play. OpTic not taking down both tacticals. Now EnVy will go with them. That works for either side. Semtexes, though, still available. Karma's going to bring those out.
Yeah, of course. I mean, nothing really surprising slips through. I mean, the Shiva does make it on in. Will we see it on Breach Hardpoint? Probably not. So pretty standard stuff here.
Specialist draft underway. Scythe on both teams, that powerful specialist lethal ability. You could bring on that machine gun out. Once you're holding down a lane with that, it is almost lights out for the opposing team. Active camo now selected. We always use the term the big three. What we mean by that, active camo, heat wave, kinetic armor, all three of those specialists are in play in this game, so it's no surprise at all to see both teams pick those right away for their squad. Scythe and those three abilities on either side. The stage now has been set, though, for map number 1. Remember, guys, we want to hear your thoughts on Twitter. Get involved in the conversation. Use the hashtag CWLPS4. Send in your thoughts and predictions to us. Definitely want to hear them. But now, looking at the map, Breach Hardpoint. It's a lot of close-range engagements. At times, things can get hectic, especially on the rotation. Break down for me some of your key points on this map.
Well, the key hard point I want to highlight today is going to be the second one here over near cages. I really feel like this is one where, if you rotate early enough, you get your ideal setup going, you're able to lock it down for a lot of time. And of course, this is, the ideal setup, what I'm referring to. You have one guy inside the hard point. What corner he's going to be playing in, really personal preference, and it's reactionary to depending on what's going to happen on the map. You want somebody pushed out over near the porta potty side of the map. That's going to cut the other team off in rotation, right? Because the other team, they're going to be spawning out over near the glass side of the map. And really, this is going to be their route. Straightforward. If you're holding this porta potty's corner, you get a couple of easy kills from that side of the map. Now you're going to want somebody in the back anchoring down those spawns as well, just so that when your teammates are spawning up, they could easily flood right into the hard point if you're spawning up right here. Very, very short distance to travel. Then you want kind of like a roaming player. On that side AC vent, you're able to move into lab. You could rotate back, help out that guy in the back anchor spot. And if you're a guy inside the hard point, if he's like maybe peeking out near the front door, helping out the guy over near porta potties, if that guy dies, he could easily just come around the back staircase and go inside the hard point. Look for these teams to have a big emphasis on that setup over at cages.
This matchup is going to be fantastic. I hope it goes the distance. Earlier today, COD XP announced, obviously, the World League Championship, all a part of that as well. We have some previous COD champs winners here in this matchup on either side. It should be an absolute blast to watch from home, watch from in the studio. But now I know our casters are ready. Maven's got his orange jacket, which means it's match of the week time, folks. Let's get into it. OpTic Gaming versus Team EnVyUs.
Thank you, gentlemen. It is time. This should be a fun one. We had a crazy OpTic match last night. They end up rolling over H2K a bit, but I think it's going to be a tougher matchup here with EnVy.
Oh, it definitely is. So the last time these two teams matched up, this went to a 5-game series. In that match, you actually saw Breach Hardpoint. It was EnVy taking that one. 250, 225 to map that OpTic struggles on. I believe, though, like they said, it was a scrim against EnVy recently. They beat him like 250, 27. Not going to see that here. And then the Game 5 in this series would be a hunted search and destroy. That was the Game 5 in the series we saw with them previously. OpTic was able to take that one 6-4.
All right, well, it should be a fun one. We'll see who can get the edge here. An EnVy win would be big. You got to think that'd be just amazing for your confidence going into Anaheim this weekend. OpTic, I mean, win or lose, they're feeling very, very good, I think, about how they're going to perform. But, yeah, I don't know. This could be an OpTic steamroll, or EnVy could play them really, really tough. It could go the distance. We'll have to wait and see, but this should be fun.
I think this is an important game for EnVy to come out, set a good tone going into the weekend. Even if they lose this series, I know a tough loss would not be the worst for this EnVyUs squad. Let's start off with EnVy here in this first hardpoint, see if they can get anything going.
Well, kicking it off with Slasher. He's getting eyes on one. Going to end up falling. We'll see where he ends up spawning, as he's going to be spawning up by Cage. Going to try and hit through bottom lab here and get vision back on mid-map. Going to go right to that power position. He has an AR in hand, wants to get set up in top AC, and you see why. Picks up one before almost instantly dropping. We'll check out Apathy now. He's 1-1 to kick it off. Points going the way of OpTic. They've got to try and get a break. You still have 35 seconds in. Here it comes. Finds one inside. Nice job with the VMP to close one up. Has one out as well. Not able to win that gunfight, but he's got John and JCap to back it up.
Yeah, you notice Apathy in the hardpoint there just turns, looks at Broken, realizes teammates are spawning over there, quickly turns around, and you know, that's why a lot of players actually, maybe when I first started playing Call of Duty, you know, competitively and whatnot, they were saying the biggest thing, play off your mini-map. Just look at where your teammates are spawning up. After that, you know, when you can figure out where the other team's spawning from, the game becomes so much easier.
Well, look at this. Slasher, 5 streak right now, Matt. 7-3, fighting for these back spawns, and he's already broken through with JCap in the lead. You see on X-Ray, one player in. You saw JCap pushing through, and that is Slasher turning on a player, picking one up, not able to find the second. We'll see. Now, this is where it can be. Well, they don't hold the back spawn, but he's not spawning too far back out. Get back in the action here pretty quickly. But you'll see his teammates on the other side. OpTic's trying to come across the middle. Nice movement from Slasher. Try and get across, but will get tagged up. Apathy inside drops almost immediately, but they brought it back, and we're about to have our first lead change.
And it's a very difficult spot that EnVy is fighting from, you know, to get through this bricks area that we're seeing now. You know, with the SMG, it's very difficult. The opposing team puts an AR player over in the back behind that AC vent. It's very difficult to get past, and now you see Apathy taking a different route towards the hard point, going to have to go towards that center. He's going to get picked up by Crim6, and Crim6 setting up for this next hill. He's going to try and kill some of these EnVy players as they head over towards that third hard point, and he's already got camo.
Well, let's get on with Crim for a bit. Like you mentioned, he has the camo to go. He'd won a couple gunfights. We'll get with him through the spawn, but what's going on with Karma right now? I mean, he is 0-8. We'll check his perspective in a bit. Not sure what's happening with him, but definitely a slow start for sure. Let's actually, you know what? Well, I'll wait and see if the camo gets popped here to maybe break in. Then we'll try and see what's going on with Karma. But they're trying to get through, trying to bust in, able to get into Palace for the time being. There's the camo activation, not going to connect with anything. On the other side, I think Karma was able to trade that out, but that'll be his first kill. A very, very slow start here for Karma.
Yeah, not good to be 3 hard points in and get your first kill. You know, you see the camo used there from Crim. They get nothing out of it. Karma's going to try and break into the hard point. He's going to get shot in the back. And, you know, sometimes the timings just don't work out for you. Karma right now having one of those games, maybe. Really an odd one from him as well, because Karma usually a player who puts up, you know, pretty consistent numbers. Not going to be possible a lot of times, but that's not really his role on this team. He's going to play a little bit more around the objective. But, you know, 2-11. Really struggling and hurting the team now. It's EnVy jumping out to a big lead.
Well, we're getting back to the EnVy side with Apathy because he's on a 5 streak currently. He has kinetic armor to go. He's 25 off his lightning. We'll see if he can build towards these streaks. Just need an assist. He doesn't want the assist. He's got the kinetic pop. He's found a second. He's fully streaked. Apathy getting it done. 8 in a row. Trying to find a 9th. His teammate picks it up in the corner, but he has gone on an absolute tear. And this is why we talked about him during the preview show. When he is heating up, when he is crushing, he takes this EnVy team to another level.
And with complexity during Ghost, Apathy was our biggest like kryptonite. I mean, the guy just makes plays all over the map, and when he is on fire, he is just such a great asset to a team. And now with these full streaks, it'll be interesting to see how he uses them. You know, you could drop the Cerberus in the middle of the map for this final hill. You could elect to save it for later in the game in case OpTic starts to make those comebacks we've seen them do in the past.
Well, I'm going to stick with him for a little bit because I want to see how he decides to use those streaks like you mentioned. We'll see how he plays this now. Just going high up off the wall, he's going to come in and maybe try to challenge. No, he goes right over the top, tries to push through because now they want to set up for the next hardpoint. I think he saw one wrapping around the back, so this might be an easy kill for him if he gets the angle. Yep, there's one. Trying to force in the back, and he's going to create the pinch here with his teammate, John, coming through the back, but John drops as well. It's now JCap back here to hold. JCap picking up one. Watching the backside, He's picked up 2 in a row. He's going to have 2 in front. Finds one. Can he pick up any? Not going to be able to do it. Let's go to OpTic's perspective for a bit here because Formal's inside. He has the sight. He's going to pop it now. Needs to get something done, but he gets heat waved almost immediately and drops. Crim falls as well. It's now going to be up to Scump, who's spawning out, and they are getting shellacked by EnVyUs in game 1.
Yeah, and right now it's going to be Scump just flying into the hard point. He's able to get 1 kill, but you see he's being pinched from both sides. He's able to turn, get 1, picks up a 3rd player, not able to take out Cap, though, all the way in the back. And this hard point is usually one where we see, one team set up, they get a lot of time, and OpTic sets up early, EnVy able to break, and now it's going to be OpTic taking a remainder of the time here at the end. They're able to bring this game a little bit closer, but still, it's one where OpTic probably would have liked to have back. Probably could have took some more time. And
when you look at a game like, Karma's picked up a couple kills, but when he's struggling like that, you would think OpTic, might be out of it. No, not the case. They're only trailing by 50. They certainly have a chance to get things rolling here, so you can't be too concerned, especially, how many times have we seen OpTic start a little bit slow? And they just come back with a vengeance in a game like this. So don't be shocked if they come roaring back and turn this into a game. But so far, EnVy doing a magnificent job here. And Apathy, you see in the kill feed at the bottom left that his Cerberus is starting to get involved in the action. Gunfight's not going their way. We'll check out Slasher's POV as he has the scythe out. He's picked up 3 in a row. Getting it done for EnVy. They're picking up all the time. And this lead's getting very, very scary. Just gunning everyone. Managing to play his life. The headshot comes in there on Formal. Slasher can do no wrong.
And he's going to back out from that original hard point because he's trying to set his team up for those great spawns for the next hill. So the next hard point that's going to pop up is going to be over in cages. And you don't really have to rely too much on taking time here in the first one. Almost falls off the map there for a second. But you're going to see Slasher back all the way up here because he's going to try and set up, kill these players attacking in the back because they're trying to get these good spawns for this next hill.
Well, there's 1. Oh. Don't come out of back lab when I get a scythe, baby, because that is 2. He just saw a 3rd, I think, coming out the backside of Palace, so he should have an easy kill here. Yep, there it is. Got eyes on it. Fully streaked out. It was what Apathy fully streaked out earlier in the game, so they have a ton of utility to work with. I want to see real quick. I'll switch over. Okay, so Apathy has the lightning left, and you have full streaks for Slasher. They should be able to put this away.
You would think. With 2 sets of full streaks, they should be able to put this one away.
Well, I was talking about the OpTic comeback, but I don't think there's much of a chance for it when you have so much utility for the side of EnVy right now.
Well, look, EnVy could end up burning some streaks on one of these next few hills, and then OpTic can get right back into it. But right now, it does not look likely. You're going to see the Cerberus being called right outside of Palace. That's where the next hardpoint's going to pop up. And see, EnVy's going to take their last remaining 10 seconds here. OpTic's going to give it up, which at this point, it's only going to put EnVy a few points away from winning this game. And now you see EnVy winning a lot of the kills in the feed. It's going to be Slasher trying to work with his teammates, trying to go towards Palace. And look at this cheeky move. He's going to take control of his Cerberus, drive it into the hard point.
And we'll see if he can line up a few. Sees them in the back. You don't want to challenge that, but the EMPs are out. He's not going to be able to control it for now. Still has a Hellstorm. Still has a Lightning. Still has the trusty RK5. Right back to the Cerberus, but the game is over. This was no 250-27 win for OpTic Gaming. It ends up being 250-88, 100-point club win for EnVyUs. Remarkable stuff.
And we talk about Apathy being an X factor. He goes 31-19, a minute in the hill. John, another monster game from him, 21-16, 2 minutes, 22 seconds in the hard point. It's a big win there for EnVy in Game 1.
This tells me we've probably got a 5-game series on our hand. EnVy taking that Game 1, this is going the distance. I don't see how it doesn't. OpTic probably going to fight back here. But to break down that Game 1 hardpoint on Breach, we'll toss it over to the analysis couch.
JCap Slasher, from me to you. I'm a man of my word. I tweeted earlier talking about the scrims and talking about the 250-27 that happened to EnVy. Said maybe that is something we'll wind up seeing today. They said, no, that's just a scrim. We're going to wind up coming out of the gates. They won 100-point club. OpTic, I'm sorry for bringing that back up from me to you guys. Blow you that kiss there. But for real, though, impressive performance from EnVy. Exactly what you wanted to see. They come out of the gates hot. They beat OpTic Gaming on a map where you thought, hey, we'll see the same thing from scrims. That's not the case at all.
Slasher did a really good job on the anchor all game long. He didn't back down from any fight. You saw him early in the game. He was willing to challenge, the ARs of OpTic Gaming from top AC all the way to top broken. He did a great job on that second hard point, just anchoring time in and time out. Then you have Apathy doing big work inside the objective, 31-19. It's like Apathy and Slasher take all the kills. There's not much else for JCap and John to do. And then Karma has a very uncharacteristic game there.
Yeah, positive 25 on the side of EnVyUs. What an impressive performance. They just beat one of the best hardpoint teams in the world.
But we've seen this from OpTic Gaming. We've seen this from OpTic Gaming from time to time where, they'll come out specifically on Breach hardpoint and lose it. I think it's safe to say this is one of their weaker hardpoint games, and this is a great start for EnVy to obviously get a good start to the series.
Insane stuff. We're going ahead, taking a look at the replay. So you can kind of keep track of it, but Apathy earns full streaks. You also have Slasher get full streaks later in the game. I think, 3 Cerberus earned that map from EnVy due to their slaying power. Obviously, they outslay OpTic by like 15 or 25 kills, sorry. But it was the streaks they went on to go in that outslaying fashion. It wasn't something consistent across the game. It was like, okay, you know, OpTic were keeping it close. They were down by about 50 seconds. Final 2 minutes or 3 minutes of that game was a complete routing of OpTic Gaming, and EnVy just took control.
Yeah, I think where EnVy like truly win this game from a setup aspect is because they're able to control the spawns for like each and every hard point, and you know, a large part in that is due to Slasher. He's just been able to, you know, limit the amount of deaths he has, and he wins a lot of the engagements. I mean, you know, when it came down to like, what was it, the second cage hard point, he brings out the Scythe and he goes on that big spree there. He earns streaks throughout that process, and
this is the moment.
Yeah, when you're consistently getting spawns like this, it just makes it so easy for your team to flood into the hardpoint, maintain control. I mean, from this point, OpTic Gaming, I didn't even see them like touch the hardpoint here.
On the hill prior to this, right now we're obviously watching that Cage's hardpoint, that second hill you were talking about in the pregame kind of matchup breakdown. EnVy were up 130 to 80. At this point now, it's 215 to 87. You could see just how consistent their kills were, always on streaks. You've obviously got score streaks already earned by Slasher. The kill feed filled with the green of EnVy, that map, and they take it 250 to 88. And now already, Bandit Protect, Game 2 has started. These guys are not messing around.
However, Evac Search and Destroy has been a great map for OpTic Gaming throughout Stage 2. It's been an all-right one for EnVyUs, but of course, you know, the theme of Search and Destroy so far for OpTic Gaming has been Formal Sniper. He's just been on point whenever he's been bringing this thing out. I'm sure EnVyUs are going to target it in some way, shape, or form here.
Scump said in an interview he thinks that it might be their best game mode at the moment. They've completely transformed. Any doubts I've had about this team in this game mode now completely gone. But it's obviously Search and Destroy. Timing plays a factor. Yeah. Going into this, with how EnVy's shooting so far, don't count them out yet this game too.
Yeah, if I'm EnVy, I'd look into banning something out, like an Afterburner, like even go as far as banning out Blast Suppressor. You know Karma's going to be doing something on the wall runs, and you can't watch every single wall run here. You're going to have to leave something open, and then that brings out something like if they just run right through the middle of the map, there's a chance, you know, nobody is watching that. So you got to be cautious of that, and there's going to be the Concussion Protect from EnVy. I like that.
So now, you just beat OpTic 250 to 88 in Game 1. What are you going to do even more to kind of throw them off? Get that Concussion Protect in. If you are new to competitive Call of Duty, you are the OpTic Gaming team doesn't like playing with concussions, and I'm sure they don't like playing with high caliber as well.
I have never seen anyone protect high caliber.
Neither have I. Why? Why are EnVy doing this? What is their goal?
I mean, look, there's a good chance that the Shiva is going to make it through here, and that's definitely something that can contest Formal Sniper Rifle. Whoa. All right. This is going to be a fun game, guys. This is going to be fun.
So if you are new to competitive Call of Duty, you're wondering why we're freaking out.
These have like 99% ban rates.
So this is 3 straight protects. Typically, we'll see maybe 1 or 2 protects across an entire series. Now, in just 1 Bandit Protect, already 3 on the board, and these final 2 players still have to make their decision. This is going to be a wacky game of Search and Destroy. The Man of War now banned out because
Man of War. Are you really worried about the Man of War when the Shiva... Okay, the recon side will get protected, but I mean, look, Shiva Rapid Fire High Cal is going to rain terror here.
Yeah, that is one that is going to have a major impact on this map. High Caliber, give you that little bit of extra headshot damage, make those one bursts of players who are using so much cover where only their head can be seen, pick them off a little bit easier, and then Rapid Fire as well, something that is just better on every weapon you put it on. And now we're in our specialist draft. It's Heatwave and Kinetic Armor from Karma and Scump. On the other side of things from EnVy, it's John and Slasher with Heatwave and Active.
These classes are going to be so tough to make. You only have 10 points. You want to have, you know, high cal rapid fire, of course, but then you also have to respect the fact that grenades make it through. You have to worry about HC cars as well, and then the concussions. You need tac mask on. Then you want to have blast suppressor too. There's not enough points to have everything here. Players are going to have to sacrifice something. Definitely pick and choose. Decide what your goal is for each round on this map. Psychosis now from Formal as well as JCap to close things out. What an insane Bandit Protect we just saw right there. Could not be more hyped to get into this map, but you mentioned you're going to have to decide between certain points in this class, certain points in this class. Obviously, it'll have a big difference on the play style on this map. From what you just saw in that Bandit Protect, what do you think is going to be the most common class setup to get the work done on the offensive side? Well, we could talk about classes a little bit later, but I want to talk about what these teams are going to wind up doing on the defensive side of things. So first, let me highlight where the bomb sites are. So this is going to be where B is located. Around here is going to be where the A bomb site's located. And you can see there's a lot of different avenues you could have on the map, specifically here at the, the platform. I mean, there's so many avenues near the middle of the map that it's tough for the defensive team to cover everything that's going to be happening here. And we go back to how H2K like to play this defensive side. And this is their usual setup. You have this guy here at the barrels near the A-bomb site. He's in charge of watching that angle. This guy mainly is going to be watching the mid doors, and then you have one guy watching up top B, and then another guy watching through the hallway. This, at least you get most of your bases covered. You're able to put pressure onto both bomb sites, and then you could rotate accordingly. I feel like this should be one of the more standard setups you should have. But look, when Karma's in play, Afterburner, Blast Suppressor both make it through, you have to respect the wall running here. And no, you're talking about both the top and the bottom side of the map when you're looking at the graphic. You can't cover both of them. You don't know exactly what's going to happen with Karma. He could hit that very low wall run on the dip and then come back all the way over here near the back helipad platform. It's tough to track players when they're on that specific parts of the map. And, I think there's definitely going to be a hole open near that setup. And, Karma's definitely going to be one to exploit that.
The setups the teams are going to have, the classes and guns they're going to be using are going to be quite unique for this search and destroy. In all the time we've had the COD World League, I don't think we have ever seen a band protect like that with rapid fire and high caliber staying in play. I'm ready to get into it. I hope you are as well. Let's send it over our casters for Game 2.
A blowout victory for EnVy in Game 1, but OpTic at some point is going to fire back here. I would not be shocked if it's in the S&D. They're very good at uplink. The CTF's a toss-up. We're going 5. I'm telling you right now.
High caliber and rapid get protected.
The
recon site gets protected as well.
Well, the high caliber.
A little bit of a joke.
Well, the high caliber I think was a protect from Rise to actually get an OpTic's head. As soon as they saw
EnVy.
They were. Oh, sorry, EnVy. As soon as that was protected, OpTic was like, "All right, I'll protect rapid fire." I think kind of almost troll back at them. Like, come on, guys, we never play with this stuff, but it's going to be in. It's definitely going to take shape in the game here.
Everything's going to have high caliber and rapid fire on it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the assault rifle's high caliber. Everything will have rapid on it. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I have absolutely no idea. It's one of the odder ban and protects we've seen here in the CWL Pro Division.
FYI, friends and family, we've got double SVG off the rip for Karma and Formal. Oh, God. I have to start with Formal because his showing yesterday. I believe that I owe him that. But I'll keep Karma highlighted as well because they're both going to be picking a side, basically. It looked like Formal was picking from A. You had Karma picking from the opposite side. Okay, now he's shooting the wall. For the side of Karma, he's looking for kills, but they've already pushed up onto the site. Crim6 opened it up. Scump now pushing in as well. Some shots through, trying to find one. He knows there's 2 in the back. So it might be, Formal might be able to get a shot here from the back with the sniper. I think you just saw one cross. Trying to get fire down if they can pick it up. It's going to be JCap and Slasher now to deal with this. Let's go over to Slasher's point of view as he's wrapping around their back, bumping into a player, trying to find him, can't connect. It's now JCap by himself. He will drop to Scump. And I believe that's 4 up, 4 down. I don't think anyone from OpTic dropped.
Nope. Now, the one that you were worried about is Karma, getting pushed on the backside. He's able to take one out with the RK5, and you see Scump here in your final kill cam. Pushes in with Crim. They're able to take out the last 2 for an OpTic Gaming win.
Okay, 1 round in. OpTic taking the lead. Can EnVy answer back on offense? Real quick, though, we'll check Formal, check Karma. So he switched. It's just a Formal sniper. On the other side, do we have a snipe? Let's check Apathy, John, and maybe Slasher could as well. A lot of these guys capable of doing it, but don't see anything. But uh-oh, look, Karma. He's going around the bottom. Karma might find some. He will end up dropping here. Scump will answer right back, though, and he's got to play right at the corner here, Matt.
Yeah, and I obviously has no idea that player's around the corner. We can obviously see through X-ray. He's actually going to just back down, go back towards the middle of the map, and when he doubles back, I actually don't think he saw that player cross over onto the B site. So EnVy knows they have B site control. It's going to be interesting to see if they elect to try and push all the way in. But, well, yeah, Formal in the back. He's actually just going to be pushing up. He actually sees one to the right with the RK5. So they had to have an idea that that player was there.
Yes, they did. One got behind, though. JCap looks like he wrapped all the way through. Are they watching this angle? Doesn't look like anyone has eyes here. If he plays this slow, he might have 2 lined up for him. There's one, but he wasn't ready for the player prone. That's Scump closing it out back-to-back rounds. OpTic with a 2-0 lead. I was worried, the first player I hopped to in that, right, I think was Karma trying to do that low wall run. if he was able to get behind, if he didn't meet someone at mid-connector there, he would have destroyed any kind of push very quickly.
Oh, without a doubt. And right here at the end, I mean, if JCap kills Scump there on the ground first, he has a free kill on Formal.
Yep,
I mean, Formal has the sniper rifle. He's just aimed down, trying to pick up a player in front of him. He's able to take out both players, makes the round much more interesting. But stay on the offensive side, see if OpTic Gaming can win yet another round.
Well, they both got snipers here, and they're playing the same side, so you're going to have to deal with Formal and Karma coming at you. Karma saw one for just a second, can't snap onto the head. Does it give an angle maybe to Formal, though, as he's right behind him? You've got two SVGs flying at you. Slash, you're able to pick. They're going to end up sniping each other here, more than likely. Formal did see, I believe, two in the back. It is going to be a 3 versus 3 here. They're starting to push up 2-on-2 very quickly. There's a flanker coming in. Where's Apathy? Yeah, Apathy flanks in right from behind. He's able to pick up one. Will be traded out. And now you had a one-on-one. JCap able to take out the sniper in Formal. Eat your first round on the board here for EnVy.
And that's a huge round for EnVy. You go down 0-3. It would have been very difficult to start mounting the comeback from there. Now you go on the offensive side. You've got a little bit of a feel of what OpTic's been doing on defense. You can make a good offensive push.
Cap's probably taking a breath there. You see Formal just slowly pulling the sniper back out. The shots he was hitting yesterday, wouldn't have been shocked if that was one he might pull off as well. We'll go to the veteran. JCap just closed out a round by picking up the final two players of OpTic Gaming. Can they tie it up at 2-2? Let's watch his POV. Sees one immediately. The snipe comes across. Is there going to be a repeat? No. John pushed forward. JCap gets the assist. You see it developing, but this is Formal getting, or Karma getting behind again. We saw him take this route earlier. Does he actually get in behind? He's just searching. Not aware they're actually right on the other side of the block. Is he going to find? There's the bomb carrier is right below Karma. I don't think he realizes. Now he does. He's spotted him, and that's everybody dropping but Apathy. Apathy's mid-map. Let's switch to him in the 1v3, see what he can do. He's going to drop Karma. He's got Scump and Crim to deal with. 50 seconds on the clock. We'll see if Apathy can clutch.
And he's able to get away. He gets tagged up by a bunch of shots there, and he's going to go all the way into the back of his own spawn. Still has to retrieve the bomb and get it planted or take out both players. It's going to be very difficult to get the bomb back. He probably has a better shot to just kill both players at this point. You know, they're both up there on top AC. They have to have an idea that the bomb's down, and Apathy's best route might be that lower wall run. I just don't think he feels confident in going for it right now.
I don't think he has any idea what route he wants to take.
He should challenge this player.
He kind of has to at this point. There's so little time left, but the flank comes in. Heads up play by Crim6 to pinch when his buddy gets tagged up, and that'll be 3 now for OpTic. They've taken firm control of this game 2.
At that point, when you know that first player is there, when he's putting a shot in the Scump, you might as well just challenge Scump. It just buys Crim enough time to come from behind and I'll be able to take him out. It's going to be OpTic getting another round win on the board.
All right, OpTic 3-1. The snipers, I mean, they've been winning these rounds. The snipers haven't been too influential. It's funny because yesterday, Formal was picking up all the kills with the snipe, right? Now he's 2-3. It's Scump and Crim that have really been picking up. They're combined for 10-2. So very good stuff from them. Scump's going to be flying right in. He is not able to win one. Will drop almost immediately, but a kill does get traded out as Formal's able to snag one. 3v3. Crim's getting flanked. He's going to fall. Formal drops at almost the exact same moment, and now you have Karma in almost like an Apathy-like predicament. He has some time on the clock to work with, but he's going up against 3 players. This is going to be tough.
He has a ton of time to work with, and he's over in this position because he's watching that long flank.
Look where the bomb is,
through the A bomb site, and his teammates pushed over towards B, and yeah, bomb not in a great position here. Now Karma's going to work all the way around the outside. He should actually just make it close, but it looks like EnVy just going to stack over in that apartments area that we talk about all the time, and he's actually going to see one on the wall run. He's going to back down. Smart play there by Karma, not the challenge.
Yeah, he's getting pushed, though. He should be dead to him. We have Apathy hit the wall run immediately. Is he backed up? Will pick up the kill. EnVy's now got 2 on the board, and that's, you kind of saw 2 offensive rounds just get halted pretty early on. You saw OpTic get shut down here. Karma in a tough spot. The round before, similar situation for Apathy, where you have to get bomb, pick up a lot of kills. Neither able to clutch up for their sides. Now we'll have EnVy going back to offense. They've got about as balanced a result as you can ask for with every single player at 3 and 4 currently. Will they be able to get past the snipers here of OpTic Gaming and get forward for a push? We'll stick with JCap for now. He will be your bomb carrier. John and Apathy have already opened things up quickly. That's 1 kill on either site now. Will they find the last player? JCap should know he's in the corner here, starting to pinch around, but Slasher's already cleared it out for him. Good teamwork. It's just JCap kind of overlooking everything there. The bomb's getting planted. Now you find Formal in a 1v4. He pulled off some crazy plays yesterday. Are there more here for him? Guns 2. All of a sudden, it's 1 versus 2. You have Psychosis. Got to reload that amaze. He only had 8 bullets. Still hasn't done it. There it is. Now he's reloaded. Now 2 players to work with. 30 seconds to work the defuse. Now, will he check the top corner? Because there was one right around to his top left here. There it is, 1v1. Is the ace alive? He doesn't have a lot of time and will drop. He almost pulls up the 1v4 ace, but just a bit short. Slasher clutches up.
Yeah, and Slasher comes on the lower wall run, comes directly to Formal's left into the water, and he's able to take him out. An incredible attempt there, though, from Formal, who's been putting up some crazy games in search and destroys of late.
That would have been one of the more wild 1v4s for sure. Don't see him very frequently. Almost caught one there. But now it has been tied up at 3-3 here, Matt. What do you want to see out of OpTic Gaming? What have you liked about their offense thus far?
Well, I've liked their just kind of variation in their offensive pushes, and you're seeing something different from them this round. They're actually just going to hit mid with bomb. Karma's actually able to take out one. Over on the B site, kills traded out in the middle of the map. Crim dies, but Scum's there to pick it up. Now you have the B bomb site all for yourself if you're OpTic Gaming.
I was curious how Karma was going to hit this wall run, if he was going to end up wrapping around and maybe flanking behind a player, but he's gotten to a pretty good position here to watch the wall run, also watch one push. Oh, God, he's right next to you. He's right next to you. There it is. Karma finds it, gets traded out. Formal now, 1v1. Can he clutch up? It's Slasher again, the formidable opponent. Slasher's on a 4 streak. You know he just clutched up the round before. Can he do it again? Can he be Formal's worst nightmare? He is. Slasher just shutting down anything Formal tries to do. Here, a more standard 1v1, but the jukes coming in on the wall run, and Slasher is just a thorn in the side of OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, it was a nice play from Slasher to back out of the site, get a different angle on Formal there. Formal pushes through, thinks it's clear. Slasher's able to come from behind, take him out, give Envy a lead here in map number 2. And Slasher working on streaks here, Maven. He's actually got the HC. He's only 150 away from a dart. Let's stay on board with Slasher. And he's got camo to use as well.
He's got a lot of utility, and I believe he's on a 5 streak with that final kill on Formal. And he's getting aggressive, going forward. I think you saw on the lower wall run, that was Karma. You saw on X-Ray. You see him over there, how he got cleaned up. That must have been called out to his teammate. They've now picked up 2, 3v2 advantage for Envy. Staying with Slasher as he's still working on these big streaks. Leading the squad at 7-4, breaking every piece of glass he can get his hands on.
And Envy is taking way too much time to make this push into the site. They got to go now, and you see one player actually dies. And it's going to be Scum able to take out another, and this round is over in favor of OpTic Gaming. That is what Envy cannot afford to give away, Maven. They wasted so much time to get into that B-bomb site.
And be very, very glad this gets traded out quickly, because this was about to be another 1v1 for Slasher. But you had the camo for Crim. If Slasher is able to hit his camo there, if that's not traded out like instantly, that might have become a very, well, much more scary 1v1 scenario there for OpTic.
Would have been very, very there, and we'll see. Slasher, nope, doesn't get that streak. He actually dies to Scump there at the end.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. He got one kill but fell, so I think he was 50 off the dart. Karma has been really working on these lower wall runs regardless of offense, defense, what side. He wants to get around the back, but he's spotted out, doesn't connect, not able to pick up the kill. It seems like EnVyUs has his number. They know what he's trying to do. Now we're watching Formal. He's going to get pushed. Everyone dropping for OpTic Gaming. It's up to Scump and Crim to get it done. Scump, your bomb carrier, sitting at 6-5. Looking to pick up some kills. I think it's Crim that's actually pushing through first here. He should have got eyes on one, able to pick it up, bring it a little bit closer. Snap back to mid-map, can't do it. Scump now, 1 versus 3. Make it 1 versus 2. Is he able to clutch up? There's been so many near big plays for OpTic Game where they fell just a little bit short. Is it Scump start? 1-on-1, it is Scumpy! 1v3 in the 5th round on the board here for OpTic Gaming. You feel like that's just what they needed, right?
Like, why just keep running at him one by one? I mean, look at it. He's able to take out the first player. The second player just jumps and challenges wildly.
The movement there threw him off completely.
Yeah, not
ready for him to slide
a great
forward.
ending to what could have been a good round for Envy as Scump clutches the 1v3.
Woo! And that is a huge round, because if you end up going down, what, 2-0 in this series, I mean, that round could have been it. I mean, you got a 5-4 lead. Envy might close it out, but now you're feeling a little bit better if you're OpTic. They're going to be playing defense here. We'll watch the push. It's Crim6 now that's kind of wrapping around underneath. So let's take a look at his vision. You saw Karma try this a couple times. Didn't really work out. It is going to work out for Crim. Gets him behind. Karma picks up one as well. Formal's in on the party. And now it's poor apathy. You saw him in a 1v2 earlier that stretched out the time limit. Can he get it done here? No, that is all she wrote. Scump clutches up. OpTic clutches up. 6-4 victory, and the series is tied up at 1-1.
Huge games from Crim and Scump. Both finish at 10-5. He had a great performance by Slasher on the other side of things for Envy. He goes 9-7 in that one. And Man, Envy probably would like to have a few of those rounds back.
Yeah, they certainly would, but this makes it, we've got a hell of a series now.
Yes.
This tied up 1-1 certainly feels like it is going all the way, but to break down the S&D, we'll toss it over to the couch with Courage and Revan.
This is reminding me of the OpTic Phase series from the Match of the Week a few weeks ago, where that one went all the distance. Hoping it does again here. The 1v3 from Scump coming into play. The guy is just a legend.
Yeah, that was absolutely nuts. But, you know, EnVy, I thought they did a great job all game long, just limiting what Karma was able to do on the wall run. I mean, so many times they were able to, you know, like catch a mid-wall run, even doing some wall running of themselves. And it seemed like no matter where Karma went, EnVy was on top of him. Now, granted, OpTic Gaming, I think where they win this game is, for me, they were a lot more decisive with the pushes that they were making. I felt like at times EnVy, they hesitated way too much, especially on the offensive side of things. And then on defense, when they had the number advantage, seemed like they were a bit overly aggressive and overly peaking.
Well, you heard it brought up. Obviously, on that map, there were a few rounds where EnVy just kind of waited too long. Time became their enemy. And instead of kind of acting quickly and forcing OpTic against the clock, it wound up biting him in the butt. And there we'll have OpTic Gaming taking the map, tying the series 1-1. Obviously, Slasher continuing to have a great series so far there, finishing that game 9-7. But for the most part, when you have performances like that from Scump and Crim6, you know OpTic's going to be in a great spot.
And, you know, because stuff like Rapid Fire and High Caliber make it through, it forces you to play a lot more safely, right? If you're out of position for a second, that's enough time for you to get melted and evaporated off of the map. And you saw that happen quite a few times here. I thought for a second there that Formal was actually going to get that 1v4. And, you know, that just goes to show, like, you know, EnVy, when you're in that type of situation, you're up 4v1, there's no reason to send people to scout out for information, right? And, you know, Formal was able to fight, you know, like 3 different 1v1s. Fortunately for EnVy, they had a guy playing like an off angle inside the pool there. Otherwise, Formal was definitely going to get that.
I mean, if you're, in your opinion, from looking back at that map, obviously, yes, OpTic do win 6-4. Yeah. But if EnVy play a couple of those rounds a little bit better, is that their game to take?
Maybe not their game to take, but they certainly make some of the rounds more competitive, right? And just bring it closer down into some situations. You know, I think that 1v3 is an example. You know, EnVy could win that round. You know, if they win it, then we're going to a round 11.
Well, we have found ourselves tied up at 1-1 going into Game 3. Now, as a reminder, we play 4 different game modes in competitive Call of Duty. We've seen half of them so far. The second half still to come. Hardpoint and Search and Destroy complete. Uplink and Capture the Flag next. The uplink map will be Infection. Stronghold CTF we're guaranteed to see as well. And if these teams split the maps yet again, we'll go all the way to a Hunted, Search, and Destroy. Always a pleasure to watch that in Game 5. But let's talk about this Game 3 now.
This is going to be fun to watch.
So far, we saw an EnVy team that outslayed OpTic very heavy in the first respawn. An OpTic Gaming team that obviously get thrown some curveballs in Game 2, but they handle it. Do we see OpTic now turn things around with the curveballs and try to give them an advantage in the respawn that they struggled in earlier on in the series?
No, I don't think so. For the most part, OpTic Gaming, they want to continue with the same game plan they've had throughout the entire stage. And the reason why I think this game is going to be fun to watch is because you have like top ARs on both teams. You have JCap and Slasher on the side of EnVy. On the side of OpTic Gaming, of course, you have Formal. Crim's probably going to bring out one here as well. Karma capable of using it. So I'm just excited to see these battles go down. And now we're starting to see some normal stuff get banned out here. There's Overclock and High Caliber already out of the game.
Infection, one of the larger uplink maps, a lot of long sight lines where you need an assault rifle to get those kills in. Teams will triple stack, even sometimes run 4 ARs on this map to ensure from range they are precise with their bullets. Rapid Fire and High Caliber. The attachments protected last game, gone within the first 4 decisions on this band. Protect, Tacticals out as well. This one's looking a little bit more standard for these teams.
Yeah, it seems like only something EnVy wanted to do specifically for that Search and Destroy map. Of course, we're waiting on now Overdrive to get banned out, and then maybe something, oh, well, there's Overdrive. And then maybe something like a Camo could get banned out along with like an HCE or a Shiva.
Waiting to see where these teams go. Man of War again from EnVy. Going to keep that theme going. And finally, Frag Grenade from OpTic Gaming. So they're continuing to leave the Semtexes in. Surprising to see, but frags have been getting a lot of more love as of late. Players have been landing them in perfect spots. They've got those nade spots they need. Also, a little bit of a further distance you can travel with those grenades. Off spawn, immediately throw them towards the drone spawn in middle map and kill whoever's going for that one. In the specialist draft, though, Revan, pretty standard so far.
Yeah, you know, the big 3 make it through. You're going to see teams in a respawn game where they're going to pick up all 3 of those, especially Camo for uplink. Can make so many big plays, and at times it could really force scores to happen just because you have Camo active.
Well, we have completed the Banner Protect and Specialist Draft. We hope you've been enjoying the coverage of the Call of Duty World League North American Pro Division Stage 2 presented by the PS4. Remember, this weekend, be sure to tune in. It will be our Challenge Division event, MLG Anaheim. A lot of hype around that event. These two teams will be playing. But now, Revan, with Infection Uplink, break down this map for me. What are we going to see?
So whenever you're attacking this goal over near Church, it's like the same push time and time again, right? You try to take control of Graveyard and you try to get that setup going. We don't really see too many new stuff when you're attacking this side of the map. So the one I want to talk about is obviously going to be the one all the way back here when you're attacking down that driveway side of the map. What we've been seeing more and more is teams choosing to attack this Snow Street side of the map so that once they get to this little cliff right here, they could toss the drone in right over that for a safe one-point play. Because, I mean, just look at this area. You have a lot of cover to work with. It's tough to get a line of sight to specifically stop that player. So how do you get that push going? How do you get set up? Well, of course, in the end, your drone carrier gets right there. You're going to want somebody else supporting him, just giving him some cover or at least providing a distraction so he can get that one-point toss off. Then you're going to want some sort of middle map presence, some guy holding down near the B-bomb site area, those middle staircase. What he's in charge of doing is fending off the aggression through that middle kind of gate area. And then you're going to need somebody just to get that pass going, right? Somebody to give up their life so that you can then pass the drone and then start moving it forward up on that street. This is a push that we're starting to see teams develop more and more often. I believe Complexity were one of the first to start implementing this, you know, infection uplink. Now, of course, this is a push that you want to get going when you desperately need that one-point toss, when you're trying to maybe pad a lead or come back into the game. It's one that, you know, you design and you get going when you're like, okay, guys, we need to do something different. We need to put it on the board. Let's start pushing over near that Snow Street.
Well, OpTic Gaming, they did what they needed to do. They recovered after a rough Map 1 loss, getting 100-point club in Hardpoint. They take the search and destroy. Here's now an opportunity to give themselves the first lead in this series, but I can tell you right now, Envy will not make it easy. I see Maven dancing in my peripheral vision. I think he's ready. Let's send it over to him for this Game 3.
Series tied 1-1. Who will now get the edge? It's your swing game in the best of 5. Get a little bit of momentum here to try and close out the series. We're going into Uplink. Who are you feeling good about?
Well, you know, OpTic obviously one of the better Uplink teams during Stage 1. Into Stage 2, they've struggled a little bit in Uplink. You know, to their standard.
I mean, they've
to their standard, they would beat everybody.
Less invincible.
Yes, they were invincible. So to their standard, you know, obviously they look vulnerable in this game mode. It'll be interesting to me. Obviously, Infection, we usually see, you know, obviously more AR heavy, you know, the long sight lines over, you know, on the B street, over by those broken buildings on the top side of the minimap. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, who's going to be running what. I bet you on the side of OpTic, you'll see the 3 AR setup. Now, you know, Envy could potentially go with a 2-2. We have seen it in the past from them, and going to just check. And, yep, they're going to have John and Apathy both run SMGs. And on the side for OpTic, you're going to have actually Carmen with a submachine gun in his hand as well. So we're going to have a 2-2 split on both sides.
Interesting. Well, let's take a look here. Well, we're going to kick things off early with OpTic. It's 3 down for either side. Shouldn't be a whole lot happening with the drone with that result. Krim going to finally drop. It's going to be Karma getting back to mid-map next. Trying to push around, try to find kills with the Kuda, getting shot in the back, didn't care, kept on pushing, somehow still alive, realizes there's one more here. He's going to get 2 kills, basically fully red. Whoever didn't kill him on the cross, basically just let the rest of his team get dropped.
Essentially, and you see Karma now pushing into the back of the Envy base. He's just waiting for the drone to come forward. You're going to see him being passed up directly in front of him. He's going to pick up this kill. Has one more directly in front of him. Nice play there by Karma. There's one more player directly to his right. He's not going to be able to pick him up. Teammate's going to get that one. It's going to be a 2-point play there for OpTic Gaming.
Well, we'll get right back to Karma. Just wanted to show the dunk because he is on a streak right now. Make it 5. Keeping it going. 125 off that dart. They've got good control of the base. He should be, oh no, caught reloading. Otherwise, he probably would have got one more on the board. Trying to get a pass forward, maybe a toss. Scump is still there. Is the 1-pointer good? Up over the top. Might be a little bit left. Nope, able to put that through. Give him a 3-0 lead and still hunting in the base. Just being a nuisance there before finally dropping. We'll get right back to mid-map though. As Crimsix has the drone in hand, it looks like he wants to pass it just over the top, make sure he has gun up here to try and deal with players in barn. And it works out brilliantly. It couldn't finish the kill, actually, but tags him up just enough for an HC to, I think, pick him off. But so far, I mean, it's been, what, EnVy trying to play out of their base this entire time, man.
Yeah, it's been OpTic just putting a ton of pressure on EnVy, where EnVy can pretty much only play out of the back of their base. Usually spells good sign for the offensive side of things. And now it's going to be EnVy with the drone in hand, going to go down the B street here, and you see Slasher going to try and get a one-point throw off. Lives for a very long time, and it's going to get picked off by Karma, tossed off the map. The drone going to get reset.
You still have Apathy here, though, applying a bit of pressure, but with the drone off, not going to be able to really do any damage with regards to points. Crimsix just picked up 3 as he was pushing up to mid-map. Slasher will finally cut him down, but now it should be Scump leading the way for another offensive push here. Karma picked up the drone in the back. Scump leading the way. We'll switch to Karma's POV to see if he's able to get the toss-up. Doesn't, gets pushed from behind. Formal's the only one still on this side of the map, and as he drops, that's 3 down. Cap now has drone, and they're going to look to try and counter, but they have such a long ways to go.
A lot like what happened with Karma in the first game. You're having an off game from JCap in this one for EnVy. Starting things off here 1-7. Going to really need to see him pick it up as time goes on. You see a heat wave come in there. It's going to be John able to survive it. He takes out.
Still alive?
Yeah, there. It's going to be EnVy taking out 2 players in the process. You saw a team kill there in the feed, though, for EnVy, and it's going to pretty much end their push as they tried to put some points on the board, and now it's going to be OpTic heading back towards mid-map. Apathy here in an advantageous position. He's going to have 1 go by. He's going to be able to pick him up. Now he's just going to stop mid-map. I would have loved to see Apathy just push into the OpTic base at that point, and then force OpTic to rotate back and try and take him out.
Well, Karma trying to get things done for OpTic mid-map. We'll look at their push again as they're trying to win fights mid-map. Not really able to do it thus far. Scump answering, though, trading off the player that picked up Grim. He's got Kinetic to work with, trying to save this for a key position. That's going to be to take control of mid-map. I would have liked to see that there. Maybe if there were a couple more players to challenge, only ended up being 1 because I think a teammates won the fight on the other side pretty much at the same time. But he ends up getting 2 kills out of it and gives them a control. Chains into 3. He's on a 4 streak now. Give me 5. Trying to get shots over the back tank. Simtex to push it back. Doesn't matter. He's going to fly forward. And now the drone is coming in. It's Krim. Has the camo. Gonna pop it. Getting tagged up. Dodging bullets. Taking fire. But there's the dunk. 5-0 lead for OpTic Gaming. And they're still pushing on the base. Look back at spawn. We'll watch the kills come in, but Karma's already grabbed the drone. So he's already going to rapid fire right forward. Trying to find any type of kills here. I think Scump is still in. Scump's got fully streaked out, by the way.
Yeah, they were trying to get the drone further up the map there. Karma trying to pass it over towards Scump because he didn't think he was going to make it on the cross. Both players get taken out, but the damage has been done. It's going to be OpTic Gaming up 5-0 here against EnVy. You see the Hellstorm coming in from Scump. He's able to get 2 with it. Now Krim just trying to lock down this mid-map.
I think they killed a player that was on the edge of the map with the drone too. So that he got a 2-piece and reset the drone. So any pressure down Snow Streak gets shut down completely. We'll go to OpTic. Karma, who's the player in the back here, he has Heat Wave. Maybe you think about using this to try and get points. That looks to be the case. Wants 1 more. Tagged up. Relies on Scump to cover him. Scump finding more. Is anyone else home? No, that should shut it down. There's still 7 seconds left, but I don't think that's going to be enough to make a play. And as Formal drops, that'll be the dreams dropping of OpTic. At least getting any more points on the board here in the first half.
I was going to say, where are you going with that one? Because the dreams of them have not been dropped.
They use the Heat Wave. They use the Heat Wave. They had dreams to get another point on the board. It falls apart a little bit for them, but you still have a 5-0 lead. Yeah, you're feeling great, but no last-second heroics, no buzzer beaters.
We'll have to go on board with EnVy here in the second half, see if they can get a good offensive push going. I think it's pretty important they get off to a good start, maybe put a point on the board here in the first minute or so, and really start to put the pressure on OpTic.
Well, let's kick it off with John, because he's the only one right now, at least, that is, I guess, kind of slaying with them. Granted, Scump is slaughtering right now at 21-8. He's spent more time inside of EnVy's base than he has anywhere else on the map. It's going to be an HC out early. This will probably be picked off from the player playing that back barn area. Should be shot in just a moment. No, it actually gets through and picks up the kill. So that works out for John. Teammates pick up 1 as well, and now they're flying forward. That's not going to usually be a kill, trying to get shots across map like that with the VMP. But he's at least got into barn. This is a position you can really start to apply pressure to OpTic, but OpTic's completely in control of mid-map right now.
Yeah, and you see smokes coming in there.
I would just grab it and go. Look, the pass over the top. Krim, oh, he tried to pass it to the back to Karma, but I don't think it got over the top.
No, it doesn't make it over the top, and Karma gets taken out, but it's a very nice organized play there from OpTic Gaming. You see Formal's able to take out 2 here in the mid-map. He's going to pick up a 3rd there on the B stairs.
Give me the rest of the team. That's everybody. No, can't get it.
I was going to say, he is shooting well right now, and Scump's going to bring the drone over towards the B street, and usually when you see this, it's just to set up like this 1-point throw over the rocks here, and he's actually going to elect to go in for 2 as Karma picks up 2 players. Now he's going to bring it back towards a teammate. Smart play. He's going to try and reset the armor as well. Throws the the drone down, gets that full armor back. Now he's going to wait for some more teammates. Formal and Crim there as well. It's going to result in a 2-point play.
It's got to be fun to have that much faith in your teammates when you have basically 4 defenders back at spawn and you just watch them drop like flies as you control the drone. And now Scump, I mean, he spawned everybody out. You can see they all overextended back to mid-map. So Scump's going to have to rotate back, try to help his team here, make sure they can't counter quickly. And he's flanking behind everyone. There's one. Finds 2. Slowing it down for now, but JCap, I believe, has the counter dunk, the camo out. Nice stuff by Envy. You know, you get pushed early, but you answer back there. Scump's rotation back just not quite in time.
Yeah, and you see it's going to be John set up here in Grave, just trying to get behind the opposing team. He's not going to be able to pick up a kill, and it's such a difficult position for like an SMG player where you get behind the opposing team and you're relying on players to pick up kills in the mid-map and like open things up for you. And when they don't, it's very frustrating. And I bet you John would have loved those kills to come in a few seconds earlier, and it would have opened up the whole map for Envy.
Well, Slasher's picked up a couple in a row here. The EMP check will tell him he's got some action in front. He drops, though, immediately in that gunfight. Slasher picks up one before falling, and this should be the OpTic flood. You see the green wall starting to apply pressure. There's one to win. Unfortunately, Karma, it helps to have your gun out during that one. The 15-foot melee not going to connect. Scump's going to pop the kinetic. He's got one. Should be an easy second. Might be a third around the corner. Don't have a grenade out, but he is able to take out Scump. Unfortunately, though, a lot more work to do. JCap stopping it for the moment. The long one-pointer over the top for Karma, not going to make it through.
Nope, just tossing that one for yards, and now it's going to be Envy trying to bring it all the way out the back of their base, and they're starting to pick up some kills. Let's go watch that
push then, yeah.
In the middle of the map, you see John with Heatwave. It's going to be Crim the kill feed, though, picking up 2. It's going to be John just working with one teammate directly behind him, and he's going to go for the one-point throw, not able to connect. That's one that Envy would have loved to convert into points, start to make this one a little bit more manageable going into the last 2 minutes.
Well, the drone all the way in the back of the OpTic base, and it looks like they're about to play hot potato. Want to waste some time here.
It doesn't look like he has any intention to go anywhere.
No, just checking out the buildings. A little bit of snowy weather here. Scump's having a blast. All right, Scump, we're bored with you. Let's go over to John here with
Let's
Envy.
go on to the people hunting him down.
They will now be hunting Scump, which is not usually what you want to be doing. A difficult task for sure, but they do find him. Don't kick gun. Don't kick.
No, you can't do that.
John, we're going to look at your dead body for all 3 of these seconds.
Yep, we're going to let you know we saw that.
I know there was extra armor for Scump, but still, he had to take half your clip, throw the drone off the map.
He looked at him, threw the drone off, and then was like, oh, hold on, you're shooting me? Let me fight back for a second.
That's a painful one. John, we still love you, though. One of the most talented players in the game, and now you got the drone in hand trying to wrap around. You hear the scythe coming in. Slasher picking up a couple opening things for the dunk. Slasher kills the entire team.
Okay,
and now all of a sudden, you have a 2-possession game. Can they get more points on the board? JCap's going to be the one to probably grab the drone, but he gets cut down almost immediately. It's going to fall to Apathy and Slasher to try and make the play. Slasher's already pushed up in the base. He has an HC out to try and clear the way. Can he find anyone for Apathy to get through? He does. He finds the kill on Karma. Apathy just tossed it over the top, and now you just need a dunk to toss this to overtime. We'll get back to the drone. It's Cap grabbing it, needs to pass it forward. Apathy's already in the base. Can they tie this up? You've got kinetic armor. I would want to get it to J-Cap, give it to him for the dunk, but he's going to pop it for the kills, tries to get through. There's one. Where's Cap? There's the dunk. It's a tie game. 10 seconds left, and let's go back. Slasher, I thought, might be there to win it, but with 4 seconds, that should be all she wrote. We're going to overtime. What a valiant 60-second stretch from Envy.
An unbelievable minute there from Envy at the end, and maybe you kind of look back. If they actually connect to that one-point shot down that B street, this is a game that they take, and we don't even have to go in overtime.
There were a couple. Now, I know
where they got close.
OpTic had some misses as well, but I feel like the ones OpTic missed were like real far, like over grandmas.
Ones where you would have been shocked if they went in.
You had a couple more, I guess, standard throws for Envy that maybe you could have made there. And let's start off with Envy, because that was one hell of a performance to bring this one back and tie it up for OT. Now, who's going to be able to get the edge in overtime? Well, actually, let's look at this, because Formal has his scythe. I'm curious if maybe he'll think about using this early to just try and get an opening break, or if he saves it for the second half of OT. How would you like to see him use this weapon?
I would like to see him, obviously, open up the map for his team and pick up some kills.
This is real bad.
Everybody drops on the side of OpTic. They know where Scump is. Let's see if they go for this quick one-point throw.
This
Cap with camo. Use camo. There you go. You're going to see Cap. He's going to bring it right in for a dunk. This is going to be 30 seconds on the clock there for EnVy.
Oh, Lordy. Whoa, it was 7-2 with what? I mean, a little over a minute?
I think it was like a minute 25 to go.
Wow. EnVy clutching.
Hell of a comeback.
In a huge way, and now that might be the dagger. You get a 30-second dunk. Not a one-point toss, which you feel okay about, or OpTic maybe answering. A 30-second dunk is scary. So now a lot of this is going to matter on your ability. So if Heat wait for Karma, we mentioned the scythe for Formal. You got to think Formal's popping the scythe as soon as he gets to mid-map. He has to, yeah.
Even before. I mean, he's got to get up high here and try and pick up players in the middle of the map. And there's going to be one up in that top building. They're going to start trying to nade him out. Nobody on EnVy poking out here, giving Formal a free kill. And now you see Formal's got to push very far up with the scythe. He's going to get taken out. You see Scump trying to go on the OE. The drone going to be tossed on the OpTic side of the map. And this one looks like it's going to be over. A crazy comeback for EnVy there in regulation.
Wow.
A 30-second score in overtime, and EnVy's able to take the map.
You have a 7-2 lead. Is OpTic Gaming. And listen, I understand they're not their usual setups. They're in Vegas right now. They're out here for Anaheim, and I saw pictures. Maybe some of the guys don't have headphones, but you played them well enough to get a 7-2 lead. Regardless of the circumstances, you hold on to a 7-2 lead with 90 seconds or whatever it was. Yeah. Outstanding clutch by Team EnVyUs, and they've taken a 2-1 lead in this. Jack, John, what are your guys' thoughts?
Breaking down, Revan looked over at me. He said, EnVy just stole that game. You didn't think they were supposed to win it. I asked, what do you think changed in those final moments? Break it down for me and the viewers at home.
Well, I mean, at the start of the game, it was OpTic Gaming. Throughout the entirety of the game, they had control. Scump was running around doing his things. It was, what, like 8.5 minutes of straight OpTic Gaming control. Then once EnVy are actually able to get a setup going and start getting kills going in their favor, that's when they're able to get the rallying going. And I was thinking, man, if OpTic Gaming maybe sent somebody on the overextension to maybe contest that neutral drone, like over near that beat search destroy area, at least do something to slow them down. But I mean, EnVy, it was clutch play after clutch play in the base of OpTic Gaming.
I also like how EnVy, they were getting crafty with the smokes, using that as an extra little bit of line of defense when moving in with that drone. It worked out in the end, and they will take that map 3 to go up 2-1 in this best-of-5 series. Break down the scoreboard for me, Revan.
I mean, Karma has another rough game. He goes, what is that, -19? And throughout most of that game, I mean, look at the scoreline of Scump. He goes +14. He was doing some great work in the base of EnVyUs all game long. I mean, throughout that first half, it seemed like it was impossible for EnVy to get him out of church. I mean, he was always roaming and slaying around that area of the map. But like I said before, it was just a 1 minute, 30-second spree from the side of EnVyUs that allowed them to tie the game up, and then Camo to allow them to win overtime. And, you know, that was a bit of a ballsy play from JCap not to pop the Camo in the final seconds of regulation.
Yeah, he knew he had to save it. Formal looked like he was doing something similar with the scythe. Unfortunately there, when you saw Formal pop the scythe at the end, it didn't work out. This was early in the game, though. OpTic Gaming in control right now, completely outslaying double positive Scump, double positive Crimsix, near double positive Formal. They're looking solid. They're up 7-0. And then for the next 8.5 minutes of gameplay, they don't score. They hold EnVy to only scoring 2 points in 8 minutes of gameplay. And then, boom, as you mentioned, 60 seconds. These final 60 seconds is where everything just falls apart.
Yeah, I mean, 7-2, and then here's where it all starts. John gets the dunk in. Slasher goes big. He goes on a spree with the scythe, and then the final 10 seconds, JCap saves his Camo, gets the dunk in, pops it right here, and this right here, of course, it wins EnVy the game.
We've seen how strong Camo can be in uplink. There, it's the saving grace for EnVy as they take a very close uplink by a scoreline of 9-7, and now they're going into Stronghold CTF, feeling pretty darn good about where they stand in this series.
Oh, yeah, there's got to be a surge of momentum behind the EnVy players. Whenever you clutch up like that, a close situation, got to be in some high spirits. And, you know, Stronghold CTF, we always bring it back to the OpTic Gaming versus DT series back in Stage 1. This is one where, of course, OpTic Gaming notoriously lost that series to DT. So it's one that they've lost in the past. Maybe EnVy can capitalize here now.
They definitely do have an opportunity to do so, but this is the green wall. This is OpTic Gaming. You know this is a team that is not going to go down without a fight. We've entered our Ban and Protect again, like always, overclock off the table immediately.
Well, in our TSM vs. Rise series, Overdrive actually made it through the Bans and Protects here. Not sure if that's going to be the case this time around, but something that has happened in the past. Let's see where Slasher's mind is at, because EnVy, they did some crazy stuff in that game too. Let's see if they maybe do something here to maybe put OpTic on tilt or throw them off their game.
So far, high caliber. What we've seen after this is typically rapid fire again from EnVy, and then Formal and Crimsix here would go with the 2 tacticals in Flashbang and Concussion. Continuing on through, there's the Concussion right away from OpTic Gaming. And the Man of War still being targeted heavily by EnVy.
Ban, yeah.
Makes sense, though. They don't want to play against it. We've seen in matches where a player can take out a Man of War if they're struggling with the M8, move a little bit more for those mid-range gunfights, focus a little bit more towards Mansion on the side of the map, and really make your presence known.
And look, the ARs on the side of EnVy, they're more burst fire type of guys, right? They prefer to use the M8. Sure, I'm sure they know how to use the Man War, but it's just personal preference from that point. Might as well take it out of the game, rely on that M8. Now things continuing to be normal here. Overdrive, rapid fire, both get banned out.
A Shiva, nope, HC. So Shiva, again, coming into play, could possibly be brought out between these two teams. Also, making it on through is going to wind up being, I mean, you got your big three, right? You got active camo, you got heatwave, you got kinetic armor. You're expecting Scythe, kinetic, heatwave, camo as the 4 decisions here in special draft.
Yeah, for sure. Whenever those big 3 make it through, they just allow you to make, game-changing plays in CTF. I mean, we've seen some clutch camo returns, clutch camo plays in general. Heatwave always has a big impact on the game when it comes to maintaining control of like the mansion area on this map. Something else that makes it through are those smoke grenades, and I think we're going to put it to use here. Maybe you're looking at Scumpy from OpTic Gaming to use them as well.
Smoke grenades can be used to heighten the pace of a game. You might not have the setup you want, but you drop them down, you pull the flag, and get out behind that cover. Stronghold CTF, a look at the map. It's a slower pace game mode. It's very methodical, Revan. Walk me through how it normally plays out.
Well, look, you need to capitalize your pushes whenever you're pushing for the flag here near the mansion side of the map. You know that the main spawns for the other team are going to be right there inside bunker. And that's a crappy place to spawn, man. Whenever you're spawned up in bunker, I mean, look, you have 2 exits, sure. A narrow doorway here and a narrow doorway there. And the reason why I love smokes to get brought out here is if you like smoke this doorway here, now you create this fog of war for the team that's coming off the respawn. And you just create so much doubt in their mind. Maybe they hesitate coming back off spawn. And, obviously, whenever you're spawning there, this is going to be like the main flare gun for the team. You're going to take it. You're going to try to dip into mansion as quickly as you can. Ledge slide out into rocks, run it all the way through tower, and cap it to your flag there. It is so tough to track down that player because normally you have somebody here playing over near the half-wall position. Easy just to rotate over and cut off the overextending players, right? So you looking for these teams, once again, to capitalize on those pushers towards the bunker side of the map, set up pinches going through bunker as well. You're able to push through that top side of the map as long as nobody on the other team is dead. You don't want to influence that spawn whatsoever.
This one is going to come down to getting the cutoffs to your team and successfully getting the flag out of the base. If you can get an ounce of cover on this map, the lanes, they're pretty set up. All you need to do is have an AR watch over you, and you could have a game-winning flag capture for your team. It's Game 4 in our match of the week. Maven and Matt, take it away.
Does EnVy close it out here?
I don't feel good about it. I feel like it's going to go, like the first series went. It's going to go to 5 games. I mean, these 2 teams have played each other pretty tough both times they met here in stage 2. And if it goes to that 5th game, it's like I said earlier before we actually started the series, the 5th game would be Hunted, Search, and Destroy. It's the exact Game 5 they had the first time. OpTic won that one 6-4.
I saw a picture, I think OpTic Gaming tweeted out, just the guys sitting around. It's like what it's like to be down 1-2, and they all look like glum and frustrated. They're going to need to get it together. Communication's got to be on point, got to pick it up here. CTF, it is one of the more communication-heavy game modes. Cannot let somebody seep through the cracks. We'll see if they can bounce back and push this one to a Game 5, which I'm sure we all would love.
Yeah, I would love to see a Game 5 in this series. Games 1 through 3 been absolutely amazing. Let's get into CTF. Go on board with OpTic Gaming first. They're attacking over towards Mansion, and when we say Mansion, obviously, the building that Karma's inside right now, it's the side that we see most of the scores come in from.
Yep, that's why I kicked it off with them, just because typically this is going to be the side you'll be a little bit more of the play the aggressor, right? Crim's already got him from behind. Just disappears off the map there. Barely sees him before that one burst comes in. Karma's now to rotate back to play a little bit of defense. Can he win a gunfight? Nice shots from Karma. Trying to find his second. Tags him up on the steps. Now wants to push out. Challenge the gunfight. Able to deal with it. So 2 players down on the offensive attack. Everyone else gets cleaned up on the other side of the map, and that's going to open up things for Crim6 to once again push in. I don't think he's going to be able to see much before dropping, so we'll get to the Karma Scump duo here pushing out a backside mansion.
And if you are EnVy, you'd love for this first half, if you can end this one 0-0, you feel really good going into the second half. And Karma right now, his job is to just pick up kills inside mansion, hold this position down, first teammates to come off the spawn and get closer and try and make a push. He drops, and you see Crim pushing up with Scum. Scum's going to pick up 1 as well in the kill feed, and now you see Crim trying to push in. He's taken out by Cap.
Well, remember, this is, I know this is a long time ago when we saw Rise OpTic play in this match, and they were dealing with a team of, somewhat equal caliber. they were really good at applying pressure. They just could not get the flag away. Remember, they get it, but they could never get back into Mansion. They'd always drop before they kind of got to that point on the map where you almost secure the cap, where you're able to get out. They apply pressure, just they didn't push that well as a team to get that 4 down and get the flag out safely. We'll see if they can do a bit better here. I know we're talking a couple months back, and obviously this is almost the same roster, but a different team. They start out a little bit slow. We'll see if they can string together a better push here.
The issue before is they never had that assault rifle player with, you know, the likes of Karma or Scump to cover them as they were trying to get the flag out, because you're going to try and pull the flag, get it over towards a Mansion. You got to get those bunker cuts, and you don't have an assault rifle. Winning those gunfights over by bunker is going to be pretty difficult, but on board with Envy now, they have a good chance to pull a flank here, Maven, and actually their push gets shut down. 2 kills in the feed for OpTic Gaming. JCap's going to drop in the back satellite. But still, they push so far up that now OpTic Gaming's going to get maybe 2, 3 more attempts, of real good attempts at trying to get this flag out here.
And like you said, 0-0 feels very good.
For Envy.
For the side of Envy, can OpTic get anything going? You're starting to get closer and closer to Specialists. I think Scump actually just used... I thought I saw Scump pop maybe his kinetic. Wouldn't make sense really in the position he's in. But Karma does have his heat wave ready to go. Krem's picking up kills in the base. He's going to force them to spawn bunker here. He needs some help, though. There's nobody home. It's him by himself. He's just going to have to guess right now. So he's about to get flanked, I believe, from bunker as one rat back, or sorry, flanked from Mansion. And now it's going to be all on Formal to play defense. They did clean up the one at home. So they're safe here, but again, you want to have the edge from this side right now if you're OpTic Gaming.
But Jill, just the threat of pressure forces Formal to drop back, and nope, it allows Apathy to come up, kill him. Now forces the other players on OpTic Gaming to play a little bit slow, play a little bit more defensive, and this is exactly what Envy wants. Even if they don't get a flag out of this, it's still a great first half for Envy.
Karma, thank you for killing the 2 players pushing our base. I will return the favor.
By shooting you in the back of the head.
Krem6 gets a team kill, but nothing. It doesn't really affect the game too much unless somehow Karma ended up building massive streaks off of that play. Now Karma coming off a spawn. You've got 90 seconds left, so like you mentioned earlier, I mean, they may have 1 solid push left with this much time on the clock. Probably not going to get too much more together than that. So this might be one of their last good 4-man pushes. Now they're starting to soar in. Krem's going to die. Scump's going to die. Karma and Form will now be left to push. All 4 dead. That's it.
Yep.
So that... You might get 1 more chance, but that could have been it.
Potentially. What's going to happen now is Envy's going to push up the map. It's obviously going to put some more pressure on OpTic Gaming to fall back, play a little bit more defensive, and then maybe OpTic gets 1 really good offensive push.
Things are about to get really
picks up 1 kill in the base. Krim looks like he's going to pull the flag on the other side of the map, so we're going to have a huge engagement. JCap with a big kill there, able to cover Apathy as he gets the flag out towards bunker. See, Krim's going to win 1 engagement in the kill feed as well, getting it over into Mansion. And he has camo as well.
I don't think they have a darn idea. Well, where they spawned up and where Krim's playing right now makes me think they've got a good idea, but they're actually going for it. They want to hunt down this kill. They're not going back to JCap. Scump's trying to apply pressure. So Scump may have to pinch, or sorry, JCap may have to pinch now. Let's go to JCap's POV. Krim should be dead. Krim is in such a bad spot. He's going to come around the backside. Krim's down, flags down, returns in. Apathy scores with 20 seconds left. The stalemate does not go the way of OpTic Gaming, and Envy strikes first.
And that's huge because we talked about how OpTic was on the side of the map where we usually see more scores go in. And now Envy goes into the second half where they have the better chance to score and the lead. Going to be very difficult for OpTic. John with a massive first half. He's going to finish things off 17-9. The next highest kills in the lobby with 11. Karma, but man, John really putting on a show in this series, showing you what type of talent he is.
And that was tough. I mean, I switched to Cap early because you just figure with him in behind so far, eventually he was going to be the guy to make that play. Like, the pinch was going to come eventually once they got a little bit more information on where Krim was. It took a solid 45 seconds, but eventually it is Cap getting the kill in the return. And now, I mean, we got to watch Envy for a bit and see what John and co can do because, like you said, they've got the more favorable matchup here.
I actually think Apathy is in a very interesting position. Only 175 away from the Lightning. He gets that. They're in very good shape. And you see he's going to be able to pick up 1 kill there. Now only going to be 75 away from the Lightning Strike. And he's got kinetic armor to use as well.
Well, God, Slasher's might be in a similar position as well. Yeah, you got to use kinetic there. Solid stuff. So that gives them kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card. Oh, but no, cannot pick up the other streaks. Not able to get the Hellstorm as well. JCap trades it out. And they have a flag out.
This is going to be a cap. If they get the kills on the overextension,
John's got to do it. John's got to do it. And there's 1. John that 1 kill probably closed it out.
Well, they're trying to smoke this off so they can get by John. And it looks like 1 player potentially could have made it by. Actually, Apathy picks up a big kill. You saw it there on your screen. It's going to be Slasher putting it in for flag number 2 for EnVy, and he gets fully streaked out. EnVy running the flag again over towards Mansion. JCap just needs to get out with his life. He's got one player chasing him. Can he make it through Mansion? He's got a player behind him.
I would use it just to be safe. Oh, he's okay. He got through. That's going to be another cap. EnVyUs exploding here, and this is why you talk about this being the preferred side on this map. They rally 2 back, and what did you talk about? Apathy. He used the lightning there, but Slasher with the Cerberus down, another flag pull, and a Hellstorm Lightning.
They have OpTic pinned.
OpTic's out of this. I don't like to call teams out early, but they're getting railed. I don't know what they can do here when you have so much utility, so many items you can use.
Well, there's one player at the top of the map that could have made a difference, and there's a JCap actually taking out Formal. You see the flag, though, is down over in snow. You're going to see it's going to be OpTic able to get a return there. So that's a huge return for OpTic Gaming. JCap now, though, gets fully streaked out in the process, too. So, I mean, this is not a good situation for OpTic Gaming right now.
Well, you have streaks for...
You have full streaks for Cap. You have a Lightning and a Hellstorm on the Slasher, and then you have nothing on John. Apathy has nothing either. So you have, 2 Hellstorms, 2 Lightnings, and a Cerberus to work with.
That's terrifying. JCap saw one with the camo, just trying to figure out the best route, and this is it. That works out perfectly, just because he got eyes on the player. He could have probably just flown out here. He's getting chased. Oh, God, the Hellstorm comes in from Slasher, gets 2, has coverage. That's going to be a 4th cap for sure. EnVy running away with this, and JCap just building upon. I mean, he's already fully streaked out, so he can't get anything else. Let's get rid of the Cerberus at least. So that's going to be another Cerberus on the map. I believe the other is still up. It is. So this is nuts. They have 1 on defense, 1 pushing on rocks in the Mansion. What the hell do you do if you're OpTic?
You see Formal bringing out the sniper rifle. See Scum and Formal both struggling this one. Obviously, OpTic playing through some circumstances right now, but still, you expect a much better performance out of them in this series. Not too much of an excuse, but you see Slasher picking up 2 kills. Now EnVy still going on the offensive.
Slasher and crew pushing forward. 2 minutes left. Heatwaved and meleeed. Karma wants to let him know. You've got just Scump up, really, for the side of OpTic. But this, ladies and gentlemen, I believe it's done. It's been done. You just have too many streaks to work with for EnVy. With Formal pulling out the sniper, that's basically typing GG in the chat, if that were possible here. Yeah. Thinking back to like the StarCraft days. I just don't... I don't know what options you have. John's going to try to pull the flag again. They're still dealing with pressure in their base.
And EnVy did a fantastic job applying pressure right off the rip. They were able to pull the scythe out from Slasher. They were able to pick up some kills coming out of Bunker. They did a tremendous job, getting control of Mansion and putting in some flags.
Well, all right. Well, now that this one we know is basically done, let's talk about these 2 teams for a little bit as we get ready for Anaheim, right? Okay, so... With the circumstances, I believe they're playing at a LAN center. Obviously, don't have headphones, whatever the case may be. Not the best circumstances for OpTic, but this is still a good win for EnVy, right? You still have to feel good about this, beating OpTic Gaming, or do you not take much from it? Does it not give them any momentum going?
Look, I think it's a fantastic win for EnVy. I think this is the EnVy look. I mean, these 2 teams played a 5-game series the first time around.
Sure.
I mean, EnVy is a very talented team. You expect OpTic to obviously play very well at Anaheim. Obviously, still your favorites, but I definitely think EnVy has potential to make some noise.
I'll tell you what I almost think is bad about this for EnVy. Because I feel like if this match didn't happen and OpTic and EnVy met at the tournament, yeah, they go all out, but they're playing it pretty standard emotionally. I feel like there's going to be some pissed off OpTic players from this matchup, from losing, that if they match up, they are going to try and just throttle EnVy. And maybe I'm thinking too far into that, but I feel like OpTic is going to try and annihilate them, like embarrass them on LAN when they match up.
I think you are, and I think, but at the same time, I think if you're a competitor, you go into every match with the goal to.
But you know as well as I do, that's not exactly true for all people. I mean, yes, like a Michael Jordan, he tried to go in, he was like had a dagger in his hand.
You go into every match trying to embarrass and beat your opponent.
Well, you wish that was the way every player felt, but I don't think that is.
That is how you should feel.
It's how you should feel. I agree totally, but it's not how it is in the real world. So I think maybe this puts a little chip on the shoulder for OpTic, maybe not.
No, you go in to blow your opponent out of the water.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully we get to see them match up at Anaheim. That'd be awesome considering it was our match of the week. But that's going to do it. 3-1 victory for EnVy. Guys, please break that one down for us.
Well, Matt's prediction of OpTic Gaming going undefeated all the way through the end of Stage 2 after suffering those first 2 losses has been ended. OG lose the series to EnVy 3-1. Overall, EnVy, they look control of this series from start to finish.
I mean, look, at one point during that game, they were on, what was it, like a 17 kill spree combined?
We pointed that out. It was 17 straight kills for EnVy in a CTF. That's why they capped 3 flags in 2 minutes.
Yeah, you combine that with the fact that there's a 7.5 respawn second delay. Like, that's a lot of time that you're not on the map, that the other team has a man advantage. And, you know, going into the second half when EnVy are now fighting on the preferred side to attack on, I thought their break-off was just perfect. They had all the lanes covered. They won 3 of their 1v1 engagements, and they were able to push up so much on the map. And right from the get-go, you heard Mr. X point out, like, EnVy were just applying pressure after pressure. Like, OpTic had little to no breathing room. It was so tough for them to rotate back, to overextend, and you know, that's exactly why I pointed it out on the telestrator in the pre-match.
If you think about it, the first 4.5 minutes of the game, scoreless. You saw right there the first cap that went in. As the second half started, that's when it got ugly. Across about 3 minutes of gameplay is where EnVy went from being tied with OpTic to being up 4-0, multiple players earning Cerberus, showing the strength of the streaks as well. I can tell you a couple things going into this weekend. OpTic are going to be hungry for blood against EnVy, and EnVy now retake the second place spot in the Call of Duty World League North American Pro Division Stage 2 presented by the PS4 after we've completed our Week 8 of matches.
Yeah, that's great news for EnVy, but I'm going to have to agree with your point. I would hate to be the first match that OpTic, or the first one to play against OpTic this upcoming weekend. They're going to come out with a vengeance.
I'm going to tell you right now, folks, you will not want to miss the action to come in the Call of Duty World League, whether it's this weekend at our Challenge Division event, or it's the weeks to come leading into our Stage 2 finals. You've got 5 teams all breathing down first place neck, especially after that loss from OpTic, but something tells me OpTic Gaming will be the team to bounce back from a loss like that. Either way, though, that's going to do it for our coverage of Week 8, but the Call of Duty action is just getting started. This Friday, MLG Anaheim begins. We'll all be there. We hope you watch from online. Have a good night.